Hey guys, you're here on Inspiration is my middle name. How's it going? Happy spring. I love spring. So, one of the biggest parts of spring for me is fishing. Today I'm going to give you a small tour of a Champion reel. This reel I don't use anymore. I use a different reel, but I'm going to show you what is inside of this reel and then some stuff that very well could be broken on yours because I was able to fix this reel. So first you get this copper cover off by taking this off. Okay. Just keep twisting it and twisting it. See here. And then you have that there. Should look like that. Then after you get the drag piece off, this should just pull right off. And then you have that piece, which the line goes right here. And then you have, these gears and this stuff. Let's see. Oh yeah, and also I'm putting them in my little pile in order so I know how they go back on. Be sure you know how the parts go back on. See here. So then after I do that, you see that little nut right there? I have to take some pliers and pull that off real quickly. See here. And you see then that little nut there? I loosened it with my pliers, so now all I have to do is screw it off. And then after I have that off, I have to pull that off, and then you get down here. And that's usually as far as I go, but so usually somewhere in that area that I just showed you is usually where stuff gets messed up. For me, usually the biggest trouble I've had is that little nut we took off gets loose. So, how it works is in there's just a little mechanism that makes it, that whole pull cranks when you turn this. And that makes everything else crank because you'll see here it's sort of like a square so that it turns, and you see this is also a square. That makes it so that it also turns. So let's put it back together now. So then you just slide this back on. You have that there on. And then that turns just fine. Then you put this back on. You put the little nut back on. See here. Yeah, you gotta get that lined up just right. And you want to get it down tight, but you don't, so that the reel doesn't get all screwy. But I would recommend not tightening it down like with a wrench or something. Always, because then sometimes you can't get it off. So then you have that piece on, which you see turns like that when you crank it. So you have that there. Sorry. Okay, you have that there. So next up is you put this on, put that on, then you put this on, and this is to keep the line holder in the right position, because, one second here. Okay, there, you got that on. Because you have to have those on to hold this part here up so that when this part here comes around, it will spin the line right. So then you pop the gold piece on. See here, you have that on. You have that piece on. And then you put the drag thing back on. Just screw it in, you know. But the tighter you have that down, the harder it will be to get the line out. So that's your completed product. You see it works just fine. But a trouble I've seen a lot of people have is when you know they want it to crank one way but not the other. On the back of your handle, there is just a little switch right here. And then you just flip that little switch right there. And then that's all it takes. Thank you for watching. Hopeful to see you in the lake. Have a good spring.